I have to admit, this is not something I knew existed. And when I brought it up to my team, they even giggled a little. But this is serious stuff because this is a real killer. So, can you tell me, first of all, what a snow squall is? Because I think a lot of people don't even know.
Yeah, so snow squalls are basically a really short duration blizzard. It's a burst of snow that drops visibility to less than a quarter mile. It's generally pretty breezy as well. And the main hazard with snow squalls is what we call a flash freeze, which is where snow falls onto the road surface, melts on contact, and because the air temperature is below freezing, it turns into a sheet of ice. Now, the real hazard with these is if you're in a snow squall, you're driving along, maybe it's even a sunny day, it looks pretty nice, suddenly you're into it, visibility drops, and you try to hit your brakes to stop with stop traffic in front of you, and they don't work. And so we get these multi-vehicle chain reaction pileups that occur really every year, mainly across the Northeast, but can also occur in the Midwest. And you have situations where there's tens, dozens of vehicles and trucks that all collide into each other and unfortunately have injuries and deaths each year. And so we want to educate people about the danger of these, not only that live in those areas, but especially those traveling through that may not be aware that they exist.
Yeah. And you were talking about, you were describing it, and this has definitely happened to me. I've been on a road and you're like, oh, look at the pretty snow. And then all of a sudden cars just start sliding off the side of the road and it's terrifying. Okay. So obviously you want to avoid getting into that situation. So how do you avoid it? You said it could be a sunny day. How do you know if this is going to happen?
Yeah, so back in 2018, so now for about 5 years, the National Weather Service has the capability of issuing a snow squall warning. Think about it like a tornado or a severe thunderstorm warning, except for winter. And so the Weather Service, we're monitoring radar and satellite, and when we see conditions are right for heavy snowfall rates and this flash freeze potential, we will issue a snow squall warning. You will receive that snow squall warning through a wireless emergency alert on your phone for the really significant ones. And so our message to folks is if a snow squall warning is issued, we want you to delay travel or exit the highway at the next opportunity you have, because there truly is no safe place on a highway during a snow squall.
So you mentioned kind of where they tend to happen. Is there a certain type of weather system that they happen within as well?
Yeah, there's a couple different weather types that can happen. Occasionally it's lake effect snow, so you have maybe northwest winds coming off the lake and you can get more scattered snow showers. The other type, which actually can be even more harmful, is you get a strong cold front or an Arctic front that moves along, and this really looks sort of like a summertime squall line, right? Where you get this line of showers and thunderstorms, really strong winds, heavy rains, thunder, etc. This in particular is the winter version of that, and so you have a really heavy burst of snow as that cold front sweeps through. It may be relatively short-lived, but really packs a punch. So it's really that scattered sort of scattered thunderstorm type of day in winter, or that squall line analogy, same type thing. Both can cause some pretty significant impacts on highways in particular.
Is this when we start to see thunder snow too? Do they tend to happen during snow squalls?
It certainly can be that way. Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, it's more lake effect where you see thunder snow, but there have been situations with the strongest snow squalls where you also get the thunder snow, which obviously everybody really enjoys. And honestly, I love them too if I'm sitting at home. Right. If you're home, you're not really, there's no danger whatsoever. That's why we encourage people to delay travel. If one of these are issued, if it's a snow squall day, you do not want to get stuck in one. Just stay home and enjoy it from the comfort of your home. If watch a radar, etc., to see thunder snow. But we just encourage folks to avoid travel. It's not safe to be on there. And having spoken to people who have been in these before, horrifying experience.
Okay, so let's say you're in this nightmare. You can't get off. You start to see cars sliding around and you're in panic mode. What do you do now?
Absolutely. So if you're still on the highway and you're driving into a snow squall, we know sometimes that's going to be unavoidable. It's fairly typical sort of winter safety messaging. We want you to reduce your speed. We want you to turn on your hazard lights. We want you to avoid erratic movements. And we also encourage you not to just pull off on the side of the road, because you can be sort of a sitting duck at that point. And so continue moving, just move slowly. We found these pileups can be mitigated if we reduce the amount of traffic and if we reduce the speed that everybody's going. Even if there's a fender bender in a snow squall, it's not going to be too bad as long as people are slowing down. So we just encourage people to slow down that way. Now, if you're in a pileup, there's also some different messages we've tried to communicate with people. There's really no safe place in a pileup, right? So if you're in your car, it's not particularly safe. If you're outside your car, it's not necessarily safe either. Ideally, you get far away from the road as possible. but it's not clear that you're going to be able to get from your car to the side of the road, so that's not easy. If you are in a pileup, though, stay inside your vehicle if you can't get off the road with your seatbelt fastened, because your car is going to protect you from the oncoming traffic. Really complicated. Again, it's better not to be there whatsoever, but encourage folks to either get as far away from the road as possible or stay inside your vehicle. Do not stand next to your vehicle outside, because there's all sorts of traffic that you probably can't see that could plow into you and make things even worse.
So this feels very specific, perhaps, to some listening to certain areas. Why should someone in Arizona or Southern California listen to us talk about snow squalls?
The best analogy for snow squalls, which I think is part of people's mindset, is rip currents. Right? So these are things when people travel to coastal regions that aren't from there. You're swimming, you're enjoying, life's good, and then all of a sudden you get stuck in a rip current. And now I don't know about these as much as locals. And so we're seeking to extend this message beyond Pennsylvania, beyond parts of the Northeast, to folks that might be traveling through. Because oftentimes people might get a snow squall warning and have no idea what it means or what it's about. So we're trying to spread the word. And there hopefully won't be, but there could be situations when you're traveling through. And quite frankly, even if most people are traveling slowly and doing what they're supposed to, it only takes one person going really, really fast to start the first accident, which then leads to this multi-vehicle pileup. So whether you live, like you said, Arizona or California or places like Texas or Florida that might not normally experience these, we want to make sure to spread the word as far and wide as possible, so that if you're traveling through these winter regions and you get a snow squall warning, you know what to do to keep you and other people safe as well.
John, thank you so much. Anything else you want to add about Snow Squall Awareness Week?
The main thing that we've been trying to communicate to people locally and across the country is there really is no safe place on a highway during a snow squall. You may think you've driven through them before, think, oh, it's okay, but until you get into one of these, it can be really scary. So if a snow squall warning is issued this winter or in winters in the future, delay travel or exit the highway at the next opportunity. We're really passionate about this. Want to make sure to keep you and your family safe so that you can enjoy the holidays and all the things that are coming this winter.
Are there snow squall watches? Like, what kind of heads up can we get on these?
Currently, we don't do snow squall watches. The workaround for that, we issue special weather statements. And so those are things that we might issue for, say, it's foggy on a given morning, or maybe there's no latest for fire. That's kind of a catch-all. So generally speaking, on days when we expect snow squalls, offices will issue special weather statements, which will be pushed on a lot of weather apps. They're certainly located on our website as a heads up. It's more of a tool for our Department of Transportation partners and folks that we're working with to let them know so that they can take proper action. But in place of a snow squall watch, generally we'll put out stuff on social media and then also issue those special weather statements.
Do you think we'll get to the place of snow squall watches one day?
Unfortunately, I think that's something that's going to take a little bit longer over the course of time to be able to implement that. Snow squall warnings, it was a journey of probably a decade or so to be able to negotiate that. We're really thankful to be where we're at. We're going to continue to use this if we can. If we would get snow squall watches, certainly we'd make use of them, but at this point we're doing the best we can with the other tools that we have to spread the word, both in real time and then through events like Snow Squall Awareness Week.
Cool. John, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. While you're here, check out some other videos you just may like.